Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are doing for the women what Larry Bird and Magic Johnson did for the men. A lot of people attribute all of the success of women's basketball to Caitlin Clark, but she didn't do it alone. A huge part of the success came from Angel Reese and the grittiness and trash talk she brings. In 2022, people were talking about Caitlin and the deep three-point shots she be making, but it's nowhere near how it is now in the media.
She has been magnificent.
Are you kidding me? Caitlin Clark from the logo. She said, if I had transferred earlier in my career, I wouldn't be having the time of my life right now. Holy smokes. Another deep three from Caitlin Clark. Incredible.
What did she do? What did she just do?
While this was going viral in the Big Ten, there was another player going viral in the SEC. This is the play that sent Angel into stardom.
It's inside. She blocked that while holding her own shoe. Angel Reese was trying to put her shoe on, blocked it. Look, she's still holding her shoe in her hand.
It's exchanged after this play.
And she was assessed a technical.
Then this play with the stealing the ball, the getting the shot, the licking the fingers, and the TikTok dance.
Just the quick hands, the steal headed the other direction, and then that right hand scoop.
Then it's stuff like this.
Angel Reese.
Who you talking to? You ain't talking to me like that.
She averages a double-double, 19 points,
Watch
12
your mouth.
rebounds. She's trying to be the sixth player since 2010
Fuck wrong with her.
with back-to-back seasons putting up those numbers. 6 points, 11 boards now for Angel.
How many points
today.
you got? Why? Fuck wrong with you. This is stuff that bore her both fans and haters. But somehow Caitlin Clark can be just as quote-unquote tasteless and don't get nearly as much hate. Pay attention to the white circle.
The call was underneath on the shot, or do you think it was beyond the Hertz Arena to have a little fun?
This one was as recent as the South Carolina championship game. Watch how she pushed Bree off in the red circle. Oh, and by the way, she got no call for it, and rarely does she.
Drive it again. Needs help this time. Flings it out. Clark open three.
Sometimes Caitlin can be just as problematic as Angel. Even her own daddy was sick of her mess on this day. The same people that vilify Angel take up for Caitlin.
I don't know what that means.
Let's go through the comments and see what they are saying. This is just a few of the many comments I read, and most of them are giving her props for being competitive. But this comment right here, if Angel Reese did that, y'all would call her ghetto, turned out to be very true when they played each other a couple days later on April the 2nd in the championship.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Angel, Twitter is awash right now with outrage, and you've talked before about your personality, that you don't care, and I just wondered what it's like to know that, I mean, so many people are talking about women's basketball. Isn't that a good thing?
I'm happy. I mean, all year I was critiqued about who I was. Nobody, the narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood, I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's gonna speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is gonna go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited, so I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Look at the viewership, the most ever for a women's basketball college game. That viewership came because of both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But it all started with Sedona Prince. She's a college basketball player that put the NCAA on blast using her large TikTok platform. She posted this video to TikTok.
I got something to show y'all. So for the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, this is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room. Now, when pictures of our weight room got released versus the men's, the NCAA came out with a statement saying that it wasn't money, it was space that was a problem. Let me show y'all something else. Here's our practice court, right? And then here's that weight room. And then here's all this extra space. If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it.
2 days later.
Guess what, guys? We got a weight room, yeah! We got a ton more dumbbells. Look at that. Look at all these racks for squats and whatever we want to do. We got a bunch of bands. Look at this, guys. And we got some equipment. Ayo, thank you, NCAA, for listening to us. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, for real. Yay, guys! Yeah.
Her TikTok changed the game. The NCAA came under fire as a result and made some changes in an effort to make things more equal. The discourse that followed changed the women's college game for the better. It's the reason ESPN and the NCAA is now more intentional about women's coverage. They started spending more money on women's games. They started airing more women's games. They started investing and marketing the games the way they should have all along. At the time, the women's game was only known as NCAA tournament. They couldn't even use the moniker March Madness. All of this resulted in a lot more women basketball games being on TV, which in turn resulted in a lot more people watching. Caitlin Clark was always a good basketball player. She was top 5 of the recruiting class of 2020. But when college started, all the talk was about Paige Bueckers. Then injuries hit, and Caitlin Clark became that girl. ESPN spent a lot of money advertising her. Everything has been about Caitlin Clark, and she is a great player, so I get it. But she isn't the only great player. Iowa has been at the top as far as attendance goes for the last couple of years. But while they've been at the top, they've always been second to South Carolina, as South Carolina has led the nation in attendance for a while now. South Carolina set the all-time season attendance record this year while going undefeated, and they still barely got recognition. It was hard finding an article. I didn't hear much talk about them on ESPN. And even when South Carolina beat Iowa in the championship, all the headlines still only talked about Caitlin Clark. This record-breaking viewership was because the 2 best attendance programs were playing. One team with a generational talent playing her last game, and another team with a brand new starting 5 that somehow went undefeated with all of the parity in women's basketball. One of the best players on South Carolina team was the 6'7" center, Kamilla Cardoso. She has a very unique story that didn't get talked about enough during the season for reasons already mentioned in this video. She was also in the top 5 of the 2020 freshman class. Kamilla is most known for her battles with Angel Reese.
Up, blowing by, reversing off, trying to get it back. Cardoso knocked her away. That's a testament to Dawn Staley as well, that her players patiently waited and developed, seeking their opportunity, finally getting it with that graduating class and delivering thus far this season. And so far this game has delivered in the first quarter.
Here today from deep, Kamilla Cardoso says, it's in my house, but still,
Back iron, no. Cardoso the rebound and a lot of contact.
Extra to give your team energy.
Reese gets swallowed up by Cardoso, gives a little stare afterwards, and her teammates like the fire.
She has a different level of life here in this third quarter than we saw in the first half, both on the offensive and defensive ends.
Crowd saw the replay, wanted a foul. Here's Cardoso. Denied by Reese. Great dish inside, and then Reese.
Shot blockers doing shot blocking kind of things. Kamilla Cardoso gets it. Turns and looks on the other end. Angel Reese turns and looks. You guys don't look away.
She's also known for being a protector and always having her teammates back.
There's a little extra shove.
Cardoso tries to keep her away, and then Kelly gets into the mix too. And then that's when the pushing starts. And you can see Watkins saying, hey, don't touch me.
So I think what we're going to have is the officials haven't gone to the monitor to look yet. So I'm curious why they haven't done that.
Here.
You could see McDaniel and Fletcher getting the technicals for the heated argument. Then right here, the point.
Yeah, and then they go.
So all three officials, Alicia Grittner, McConnell, Cameron.
You can pull her hair. You can bloody her mouth. None of that matters. But she on your head if you touch one of her teammates. She's a quiet hooper. She just plays ball and smiles unless provoked. Diamond Miller tried to get a quick foul on her, so she flopped. Kamilla was unfazed, didn't even move her arm.
Got down. Blocked. And it's out of bounds to South Carolina. That's a big defensive play right there. Huge from Cardoso.
How about the toughness with the ankle? Steps on Usby's foot and hangs in there and keeps playing. Look at where Gokdang tries to make that move.
So when you talk about women's basketball, please know it's not popular right now because of one person. It's popular right now because of two reasons. There's so many great players in the game, and also because ESPN was forced to do better.
In the last couple years, the growth of the women's game, which you've been a big part of, has come closer to the men's tournament as far as popularity. I mean, this year, I don't know if people are even talking about the men's tournament at all. What do you see from your side of it? Is just the growth? I mean, 12.3 million watching the other day. I think the ticket prices for this weekend are insane on the secondary market. What have you seen as far as the growth and compared to where it used to be?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been the build-up because we've been held back. We've been held back a very, very long time to now. I think the fact that our TV deal was up, and I think ESPN has done a great job at broadcasting and giving us access to a lot of games came on television this year that, you know, I probably watched the most out of any year this particular year. There's the talent. There's the experienced talent that people want to see. There's a younger generation talent that people want to see, and it's in high demand. And there's no other place to go besides broadcasting.
And I've said this a long time, that I think our game has been held back to now is at a point where it's bursting through the seams, and I don't think we're going to look back. I think it's just going to get better and better.
What do you think's been holding it back?
I do think the decision makers have held our sport back to the point of maybe because they don't think they would get return on their investment. I think now is the time in which they're seeing there's a return on your investment when you pour into our game.
This article says it's worth remembering that ESPN has had the rights to the women's basketball tournament for decades, and only now is giving the game the profile, resources, and show the programming it deserves, which only hurt its own investment. Remember that when you see the ratings for these games. I'm going to end this video how I started it. So when I say Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the women version of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, I say that because those guys joined the NBA 33 years after its inception, after being the hottest duo on TV while in college. They took a struggling NBA where the players were working second jobs and the finals wasn't aired on TV and turned it into the NBA we see today. And I know Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese can do the same for the WNBA, as they are joining it 28 years after its inception, after being the hottest duo on TV in college. And this should be easier because unlike the NBA, the WNBA isn't struggling to stay afloat. Viewership has risen every year, and every year since COVID, more and more games have been easier to find. The WNBA players and the fans have been ready to elevate to the next level. And now with all of this new talent and with all of the new fans that have recently started watching, the WNBA is poised for unprecedented growth and success, poised to captivate audiences worldwide and inspire generations to come. Shout out to Sedona Prince. You're the real MVP.